In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix rhomboid pain fast with one simple stretch, and it's not what you think. Anyway, it's a small muscle, gets irritated. You're here because it's annoying and you want to get rid of it. So you've probably already seen many other tips and tricks and so on and so forth that work out the muscle. Stretch it, mash it, scrape it, whatever adjective you want to add to it. Exercise, strengthen it to try and get that to alleviate. But here's the thing. You can address the muscle, but if the muscle feels better when you do that, say, smashing it with, a ball like this back here, getting it massaged, but quickly comes back, meaning in hours or days, and it's a repetitive thing, there's a reason why it is getting tight in the first place, and we want to address that why. Otherwise, we're gonna keep trying to mash it, scrape it, push it, pull it, tug it, bop it, like that game, and to no avail, right? So nothing wrong with those movements or those strategies to help alleviate that pain, but we don't want to keep going on this hamster wheel of the same thing over and over and over again, right? So what I find with patients in the clinic, what's often missing when people have rhomboid pain is that we're not looking at joint mechanics, okay? So what do I mean? I mean postural positions and how we use our body, right? Just because you have rhomboid pain doesn't mean it's a rhomboid problem, and very so often we get pain referral into the rhomboid. Okay, so to help you understand why this rhomboid pain would happen in the first place, we want to understand mechanical pain, right? So it's postures and positions and movements. If you think about it very logically, a lot of us, or everyone I know, has eyes in the front of their head, unless it's our mother, eyes in the back of the head, yada, yada. So eyes in the front of the head. So what typically happens is that because we sit and we bend and we do things forward because where our eyes are, right? Like devices, computers, sit and hang around, bending forward for things. It's forward, 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 forward. So what tends to happen is we tend to put a lot of forward stress on our spine, right? That can be low back, mid back, upper back, neck, so on. So what happens when we sit here, depending where we have postural stress, a common area can be what's called our cervicothoracic junction, or it's that spot that's between your neck and your upper back, like that neck hump area, right? So being in these positions, we can get a lot of stress in that area. When that area gets overstressed, the nerves that come out of there can get irritated or kink the hose. When those hoses are kinked or hose, then whatever that goes to can irritate that muscle and we can have pain and symptoms there, but it doesn't mean it's a muscle problem. It's just that the signal getting there is distorted and thus we have pain, okay? So to help understand this postural pain that's called mechanical pain, we use the bent finger analogy. You take the finger, hopefully your finger's normal, you can use this. Bend it backward, you feel a stretch. You bend it too far, ow, it actually hurts, right? If you go beyond that, you might actually break it and injure it. That would be called inflammation or chemical pain. But what leads to that is mechanical pain, right? So if we keep yanking on this, it could become a problem. Now let me ask you, now that I have pain here, do I need an x-ray, an MRI, or an injection, anything like that? No, I need to take the finger tension off. I actually need to move it in the opposite direction of the tension. Right? There's nothing wrong with it. We're just feeling that pain because the pain is a signal telling us that something's wrong, right? So just taking away the pain, right? All that would do is just take away the signal, wouldn't take away the problem, right? So you can do lots of different things to take away pain, but it doesn't mean the underlying reason is taken care of. It's like taking the smoke detector in your house when your house is on fire and pulling the battery out and never addressing the fire in the first place, right? We're not getting to why, okay? All right. So why this is happening, the rhomboid pain very commonly, is because these postural positions. Now what tends to associate with this is a loss of normal range of motion of your spine, sometimes a shoulder too. But a quick test you can do if you have rhomboid pain is neck and trunk range of motion. So what I'm gonna do here is just very basic. Turn left, turn right, look up, look down, right? See if any of that feels painful or limited, because if you turn, that's fine, and then, ooh, oh, that hurts, and that's not normal. Typically, you can turn further, that's a problem, right? Now, or looking up or looking down. Next one, we'll lock in front of our chest like this, elbows out, rotate right, rotate left. If something feels stiff on one side versus the other, if you have a stiffness there, typically the same side rhomboid pain is the same side of stiffness. So, ow, rhomboid pain right, I turn right, stiff, ow, hurts there. Not for sure, but it's a common correlation, right? So, if you feel some mechanical stiffness and you have rhomboid pain, It comes and goes depending on your postures throughout the day. If you sit more often, out, it hurts more, bending, devices, so on and so forth. Then very likely your rhomboid pain is not a rhomboid problem. It's a postural tension mechanical pain problem, okay? And now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fix that, okay? So, by far the most common maneuver I find that can help with this problem is repetitive end range loading into thoracic extension or cervicothoracic extension. Wow, that is a mouthful, okay? So we're gonna keep it really simple. Finger bent this way, spine bent this way. How do we take tension off of finger? Move it opposite direction to balance it out. How do we take tension off of spine? Move it in opposite direction to take the tension off, okay? Super simple, that's really all it is. However, it's about where do we put the motion in the chair? How often do we do it? How much force, right? And then, did I say how much or how frequent, right? How much throughout the day? So we're gonna go through those pieces because those are the fine pieces that make the difference. Just like a lot of, classic food items, recipes can be very simple and basic, but to make the best type of recipe or food, you have to do the steps in the right order, okay? So simple stuff, we have to do in the right order and the right amount, okay? All right, so typically this is either neck, cervicothoracic junction, which is between the neck and upper back, or upper back problem. I don't know, this is a video, so you're gonna have to figure some of this out, okay? But what we'll do is we're gonna explore. We're gonna find anywhere from here to about here, which is like C7 or T1 to about T8, T10. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's right through here. We're gonna explore up and down. We're gonna find your stiffest point because that stiffest point is very likely the area that has the most tension, just like my knuckle right here pulling my finger. And that's the area we wanna bend backward repetitively in order to reduce that tension that can help you fix your rhomboid pain, okay? So we're gonna start here. You're gonna need a low back chair, so if you don't have one, I'm sorry, go find one. You can get one at the store for 10, 20 bucks, at Home Depot. Or you can use a foam roller. We have a version of this you can do, so I'll link that here so you can see the foam roller version, okay? So what we'll do, we'll start in the chair here, and if you're short, it's okay. Sit on a foam, well, I don't know if they make foam books anymore, but you can sit on something, find something around the house, some towels, whatever, sit on a pad, I don't know, figure it out. So what we'll do is we're gonna start lower here. So really what we're doing is we're working through the spine that has ribs attached to it. So my lowest rib is right here. I'm gonna start here, and we'll go in this spot, okay? So what we're gonna do is like a reverse crunch over the chair, okay? So it's positioned okay, all right? So I'm gonna take my hands, put them over the ears like this. I'm gonna remove this hand just so you can see me, right? Very simply, all I'm gonna do is lift the elbows up and back like a reverse crunch, okay? Get a sense of what that feels like, okay? Now that I have that, I'm gonna slide my butt down and forward just a bit. It's gonna go up my spine. Same thing, right? Again, slide down. I'm gonna go up and back. Ooh, right there, I feel some stiffness. I'm gonna keep going. Here, yeah, there too, not as bad. And then right here, drop my head back. A little bit there, not as bad, okay? I'm not having issues right now, but if you go through that and you are having issues, you're gonna find a spot that's like, ooh, that's it, or a couple of them, okay? Let's say, for instance, right here, I go here and I'm like, oh, that's stiff, or actually it hurts, and I don't wanna force it. Don't force it. We actually just want to kiss or touch the pain. You never wanna force this, okay? Goldilocks zone, not too much, not too little, just right, all right? We're not gonna do this, it's not gonna do anything, but if we're doing this, oh my gosh, oh, it hurts. You're not gonna do it first of all, and it's just dumb. Don't do that, okay? Once we find that spot, now what we're gonna do is rep it out. We're gonna do 10 reps at a time in that spot, touch the pain, okay? So we're gonna go on, pressure off. What you may feel as you do this, as you're going, you may feel like you're going further until it hurts. If that's the case, push it further, but it's all pain permitting. Remember, touch the pain. Don't force it, work with your body, right? After I get 10 reps done, I'm gonna stop, okay? And right after I'm done, I'm just gonna check a few things. I'm gonna check and see if that stiffness is any different in my neck or in your mid-back, whatever you found. Or if you have something else where you found that you reach overhead, it hurts your rhomboid. That can be your test. But you need a baseline test, at least one or two, that you can use to test before and after. Now here's the thing, you may get some change after one set, but it's not always not typical. As long as this felt okay, didn't make anything worse, and you followed my rules, you wanna repeat this 10 times every 3 to 4 hours, or about 50 times a day. I know it sounds like a lot, but how long that take me? 30 seconds, right? Repeat that 5 times a day. Maybe just to start small, start with just maybe breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 times a day. And if you got that, you can always up it. But you gotta do this every day, and you gotta give it at least a week, or I would say at least 2 weeks, right? In the clinic, I can be more specific with people and do different directions and variations, all that stuff, but this is a video. And this move alone is very, very common reductive maneuver for rhomboid pain when it's not a rhomboid problem or a muscle strain. It's when it's coming from postural tension, okay? All right, so remember, just because you have rhomboid pain doesn't mean that's the source of the problem. There's always a why. We have to ask why, right? And the why in this case, it's very common, is that because of poor postures and positions. So we can relieve some of that by doing this exercise here, but then again, that affects what, not the why. So why is this happening? Poor postures and positions. So even though you're gonna do this to help you fix your rhomboid pain, I want to remind you that we need to also remember to address some of these postural positions. And I know it's difficult, we're humans, we have behaviors, it's hard to change habits, right? But being aware of your postures and positions are important. I have some tips and tricks for those of a video I just released. I'll put it in the end screen and up here too, so you can see some of those workplace or desk posture ergonomic strategies you can use now to address that why.